This is going to be a VOD review of a mid lane Broodmother. In the notes by the player that they're looking for brood tips and tricks, and as well as how to finish fast and not fall behind. Want to hear some thoughts on some items and as well as when not to pick brood. You also say feel free to roast me. You suck at laning stage CS. I can help with a little with that, but I'm not gonna make that the primary focus. Since for the most part, I feel like I want to spend most of my time just looking at like the actual game, what you could have done differently in this game, and from those tips you can carry them over to your other games. I will just say quickly, games where you don't want to pick Brood is when the enemy has a lot of AoE, because one part of Brood's strength is that she can like just stomach people, she can just like run people down with all her damage, as well as the fact that her spiderlings are a big threat. If you take away her spiderlings, then you only need to worry about the hero. And I see immediately on the enemy team, there is the Clinks with his shard, Burning Barrage, I think is what it's called. That's AoE. All of Lesh is AoE. Axe can just call your spiderlings, kill all of them. DP can just throw her crypt swarms and slowly kill her spiders, although I think they do have insane magic resistance, but she still has a little bit of AoE. And then I wouldn't really count IO, so I'll just ignore IO. But you're going against like 3 to 4 AoEs already in this game, so not really the best Brood game. You do win in 30 minutes, 34 to 19. So either they didn't play well or you did something right. But those are what to look out for. You want to make sure that they don't really have a lot of AoE. Anything else? As a Brood, I would be a little concerned they have like a lot of stuns or like any anti-heal, because one of Brood's strength is that she is able to just like quickly to like once I find her, the edgy hero, that she's able to man fight and just get insane lifesteal off of insatiable hunger with like that 100% lifesteal at max level. That if she were ever low, then any anti-heal, either like through the big, either massive ones like an AA or any other ones like Shiva's or Spirit Vessel or whatever, those are what you need to be careful of. If they have like a Spirit Vessel, that's where you consider like a Dispel, like a Manta style or a Disperser. Manta is really more defensive. Manta is like 100% defensive focused. You just want to be able to quickly use it on yourself. Disperser would be helpful if you're just trying to like slow someone down, and it also works to like, you know, dispel yourself, as I mentioned. I think for the most part, people just use like Manta or BKB as like the defensive options. But I'll just jump into the game, and then I can just look through item builds or item guides, get an idea. View, Brood. I like it right now. You threw webs.
30 seconds.
That's fine. How many webs do you have? Max 3? You can definitely throw a third web somewhere. I almost want to say, if you really wanted to, you could throw like one like towards the bottom side of the lane, and then the second one and the second one like top side of the lane. The third one can like connect from here back to here, so you have access to this jungle. Although you wouldn't really be focused on jungle until you get your spiderlings. So we're just laning, whatever. I don't think this is a good use of a Q, because Lesh has 5 creeps to your 2, well, to your 1 creep, and if you were to run in at the Lesh, you're taking damage from like all these units. Like, say before the trade, you're at like 540, 550 health, and then because you kind of just throw spells at you, you lose half your health, if not more. You're down to like 150. You're forced to eat a tango, which lowers your max HP, and Lesh is able to just like keep right-clicking you down. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Lesh kills you here somewhat soon. But like, that was a bad go. Like, easy way out of this, easy way to avoid this is just make sure you're not like going on them when they have so many creeps alive. Yeah, and this is another thing to be careful about your webs. You're just sitting here, right here, right between your, somehow perfectly in between your webs, where you're not getting the buff from your web. If you read her, if you hover over her ability, or even here. Oh, it's just max movement speed. Never mind. It used to give her HP regen, so that's what I was worried about. But yeah, like, but it still rings true that you want to stay in your web as much as possible. Like, if you realize, if you notice like your web is just out of range, is too far away, like there's a random opening right in the middle, you're free to just like select your web, and then that allows you, it gives you the option to like specifically just destroy this one specific web. Since you are specifically asking for how to finish fast and not fall behind, that also implies all the efficiency tricks. Since you already have so much heal from like the Tango and Salve, you don't really need to. But if you had backpacked the Wraith Band to like lower your max HP, the healing Salve would have been more impact. Would have healed more. It doesn't really matter since you already healed the full anyways here. You want to be creep aggroing. You want to be creep aggroing just so you can actually safely farm. Where am I? Not this far. Like here, because you've already shown that, because you should know that this one you can't just lane normally into a Lesh easily because you're melee versus range. You want to be pulling creep aggro from here to your melee, to your range creep. That way the creep advantage is going to be like on your side, on your side of the high ground. You're forcing the Lesh, who is a range hero, to fight uphill, which means that he's going to have a 25% attack miss. And then you're just in like a safer spot for like to run away from, as well as like the armor and HP regen off of like the tower's buff. Yeah, off of the tower protection. Like if you're able to keep the creep wave on your side of the tower, which you can use by like by creep aggroing to manipulate it and sit on your side, that's gonna make it much easier for you to like stay in the lane and get CS.
Oh, someone's gone. Quick,
You still?
let's go find him.
Yeah, you have a ward. You should have played this much earlier. Having a ward in your lane, especially as a melee hero into a range, is super important because the ward allows you to just like pull creep aggro in times like this, where you're like right in the middle of the river and you just don't see their high ground. Like the ward is supposed to give you a vision of their high ground just so you can see their hero, and then you can pull the creep aggro. You can technically pull creep aggro by just A-clicking on whatever visible heroes on the map, but in my experience, that just means so much wasted time of like looking across the minimap, finding who's available, Clinks, IO, DP, whoever, and then having to move your cursor up to like the corresponding hero. Sometimes there's like hiding in the trees or like pulling or whatever. Other times like no one may just be showing. So you want to make sure, you want to guarantee yourself you have that option by just throwing the ward down. I did actually click on the Lush track and saw that you had the sentry, but that just means you can throw the ward. It's not gonna show, but like you can throw the ward probably like right here, right under your tower if you're that concerned. But like if you are smoked up like you were at the beginning and you get out here fast, you can throw it like on their side of the high ground, back here so I don't even expect it. Like throwing it like back, like if you're worried about, if like you're going against people who are actually like throwing sentries down in your lane, you can throw the observer somewhere where they don't expect it, like right under your tower, or like right over here on their side. I was like 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in. You had just finished your Wraith Band and then bought a salve. This is too much regen. This is your third set of regen. You started with a Tango. You bought a salve, and then you have your second set of Tangos. That is like what, almost 300 gold. 300 gold. That could have been, well, I'll say 100 gold. This is because like the Tangos you start with it, the salve is because you were low, but this 100 gold could have been towards like another item. Like you could have gotten like your you could have been like closer to your bottle. You could have gotten like your soul ring. Like you can't really lane into a range hero, so you kind of have to like play to get as much as you can out of the lane. You're already super fast, and you have like insane lifesteal off of like your Q. You could just like run the Lush down and just could just like run the Lash down and get the lifesteal off of that if you wanted to, but not if he's level 6. I'd say these are bad examples. Like when you have creep advantage, that's where you can just run him down with insatiable hunger. Like you flip this situation onto the Lesh, where instead of Lesh having 5 creeps, you will have the 5 creeps, and therefore you're able to just like keep running the Lesh down, and Lesh is forced to just run away. And the more time he has to focus, has to spend on running away, that's more time you can just hit them. But instead of like here, where like you are forced to back off because you have 5 creeps hitting you. We were like level 6 when I went back.
Let's hope that doesn't happen again.
Yada yada.
Time to go. See? Take time back.
You're full HP. I would say this is like unlucky work because you don't see the high ground. Like you don't see you wouldn't be able to see the Lesh coming from the rune until he comes down the stairs. Like that's why this ward is kind of bad. Mid lane is all about trying to playing for the high ground in terms of like keeping the creep wave there as well as just maintaining high ground vision. You can throw the ward like up here on the top of the stairs or even further back if you're worried about it being dewarded, especially since you were able to just like run all the way over to place it like right here or so. If you're worried about the rotations from the top lane, you could technically throw like all the way back here if you want to see them, but like a ward over here does the same thing as like this one. Kind of just you can get first blood. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Insatiable hunger is just insane lifesteal. How many webs do you have down? 1, 2, 3. Since you only you can probably leave your W at level 2 or 3 because you're not really going to be using that. This is where you have to play by ear. If you're not going to be spamming, you're not going to take over like huge chunk of the map. You don't need to have like maxed out webs at 7 minutes. Like right now, you only have 1, 2, 3 webs down, and that could have just like left your W at level 1, which meant more points into insatiable hunger. And then if you have more points in your queue, that's right. That's just more damage as well as more lifesteal, and even better, more duration, longer duration. Longer duration means you're able to chase them longer, and then just like keep lifestealing longer. And like that's how you're able to build your lead. If you are able to build a small lead through like these creep manipulation tricks, then once it gets to like the middle of the laning phase, like here, you were able to just run them down. Like imagine you had a bonus 70% damage here. Imagine you lifesteal it for 100% here. Doesn't matter if Flesh has all his Q and his Q, W, E on or whatever. You're able to just run him down because you have the sustain through insatiable hunger, and then this allows you to keep this allows you to outlast the Leshrac. Now at this point, since you have your level 6, you're just looking to just increase your farming speed. You could just farm back here, farm your jungle. This is like the safe side. But if you're really dominant, if you're really dominant in lane, you can take over the enemy's jungle, and that's like where you can actually like win early and win fast. Like you focus your webs around like these three camps. You can go for a 4th if you're really close enough, and then you're able to just like quickly take the tower down, especially since you have like spawn spiderlings. This does die, right? Yeah, it does. You need to be spamming your spiderlings. I will recommend, off of your items, I will recommend just following like Immortal Face or Tortellini. Like these two guys, Immortal Fae, Tortellini, they are very... they are guide makers who make guides for every hero in the game. Immortal Fae hasn't really kept up to date. But that's where, like, if you're not too sure on what to do or what to build, you can just almost reliably select their guides, and like it'll pay off and it'll work. But off of both their guides, they have the Broodmother going Soul Ring into Shreds, and that just allows you to have mana for all your spells, especially your Spiderlings. Like I mentioned, your Spiderlings is how you're able to like impact your increase your farm as well, increase your farm. But Spiderlings is also how you can just deal insane amount of damage. Like if you have 12 or 20 Spiderlings, you can just chip this. You can just take this tower down in one go. Are you? Yeah, like you just have like 12 Spiderlings there, and you just do that. Another small thing for the Spiderlings. Where are we? 10 minutes. You want to shift queue them just so they're together. It's going to be hard for the enemy to actually know how many Spiderlings you have if they're all like stacked on top of each other. I can show you the trick here because it's very, very quick. I really do not care what happens here. Enemy. Yes. But like, free spells. But like, if you have all these Spiderlings and you just right-click them down, people can see like, oh yeah, there's like a lot, so therefore not gonna run away. They're not gonna run into you. But if you have like just one or two, like they can just see, oh, there's just two. That I really don't care. But the trick with the Spiderlings is you want to shift command their movements. Right-click one place to move, hold shift, and then right-click another. That way, all the Spiderlings are going to group up, and therefore it's hard for the enemy to know how many is there. Like they're going to see like maybe it's like 2 or 3. They're going to die anyways. 2 or 3.
Hardly the banquet you're made out to be.
There's going to be like 2 or 3, but if it's grouped up, like so, it's hard for them to know how many is there. And it's just a quick like right click, shift, another right click to do the move command. With all of them stacked on top of each other, the enemy doesn't know how many Spiderlings are there. And then you can surprise them when they all run at them and just chunk them down like that. Like that is like the quickest brood tip to use. Let's go back. We were like at 10 minutes, I think. One, two. There's tower. Yeah, I'm gonna double down here. You end fast by taking farm away from the enemy. Cause like for this stretch of time, 9 to Lesh was dead. Yeah, Lesh was dead, but like if you didn't kill the enemy mid laner, they could have just been farming these camps while you're just taking the tower with your Spiderlings. Like instead of farming these back camps, which are super safe and like completely yours, run into their jungle and take the camps away from them. You can always just buy a ward and throw it somewhere like where the mid is coming from, where the supports are coming from, either like from the TP, either like from the mid lane, from the bottom lane, as well just walking over. Just throw a ward somewhere just so you can see them coming, and like all these camps will be yours for the taking. And this also frees up your camps on your side for like your carry to farm if they needed it.
Do Radiant want their middle tower to fall? It's not every day you get to see Radiant's middle tower fall.
Yeah, you're just AFK farming on your side, not really taking impact. Because like with 9 webs, you can be taking over like the entire enemy side. There's no need for you to enter your side ever here. You can just take over like their main jungle or their triangle, depending on which tower you want to go, what tower you want to go for. I would usually say it's better for you to like enter and take over their main jungle, because if you take over their safe lane, this shuts off so much of the map for them, and then also it gives you like the most amount of camps available, and that just enables you to like just have more and more babies. You have your Orchid. You had your Orchid for a while now, and you're still just jungling. Like this is how you end. This. I keep saying this is how, but like effectively this is how you're supposed to do it. You add up all these small tips and tricks, and that's how you can end the game fast and quickly. Like say you took over all of their jungle, they're forced to play on the back corners of their side of the map. You finish your Orchid, you're already in position. You just run over and kill them. Like if you were playing properly like down here, you can throw your webs all the way over here, run at them while they're like diving your team, use your Orchid, kill them, and then suddenly, boom, they're dead. You're free to like take more farm, and whatever camp is nearby, you take it, and then you're able to like take on towers or whatever else. Like, I would say you get lucky here because like again, this is Herald. You take both mid towers, but it's kind of like none of them really came to defend it. You took top tower because none of them really came to defend it. Actually, what are you doing with? Yeah, like I can tell you've seen some Brood gameplay, and like they just take a lot of towers, but they're also just playing on the enemy side of the map, forcing rotations and stealing farm away from the enemy. Like if you're scared of the rotations, just buy your own ward, place it somewhere. Like at this level, you're fine. You can get away with just throwing a cliff ward. But you're just taking all this farm away. You're just taking all this farm, which forces your Luna to take farm on the enemy side. And if your teammate is on the enemy side, they're more likely to die, especially because they don't have terrain walking. They can't walk up and down high ground cliffs. They can't walk through trees, whereas you can do that easily if you walk over your webs. Yeah, like this is a very good jungle farming pattern. You're taking the farm on their side of the map, which means that they aren't going to get it. They aren't able to get it at all. I'm fine with you just like ignoring them, but I definitely do think you're strong enough to like run at them. There's a Clinks. Oh, yeah, now you're just like AFK farming when you are close to your S and Y. I can give you the benefit of the doubt that you're close to your S and Y, but they're not really showing up to defend. Like if you can see heroes on the minimap, like 2 heroes topside, you're free to just like walk up and hit the tower. Like if you want to, again, to reiterate, if you want to finish fast, you hit buildings, because buildings opens up the ancients, and killing the ancient is how you actually finish the game. And the only thing the ancient is blocked by are the towers, and every subsequent tower. If you're able to take the towers down, that opens up the tier 4 towers, take both of them down, and then the ancient. There's no time requirement for when the ancient is available. If you somehow take all the towers down in like 10 minutes, you can take the ancient at 10 minutes. Same way that if it takes you 70 minutes to take all the towers, the ancient is available at 70 minutes. That's the only thing you're waiting for. Because like instead of you just jungling back here when you're already like knocking high ground and like the enemy has kind of shown they're not defending, that's how you can just like end the game and close out the game. Like Broodmother is one of the most common cheese pick heroes by like Smurfs, and that's because low rank players don't know how to deal with her entire kit, her babies, her lifesteal, her terrain walking with a web. That if you're able to just actually like use all of it to some semblance, then just like you're doing here, you can win in 20 minutes. Like I'm surprised that like this is what I'm talking about. somehow your Luna takes 4 with her. It's only the Clink's available, and this is a carry Clink, so he's he's not ready to fight. He doesn't even have his Deso. He has no way to clear your Spiderlings because he doesn't have his shard. Why are you jungling? Barracks are exposed. 2 lanes of barracks are exposed. You could have easily cleaned this up and then probably taken like the range racks mid. Like taking these this early, 19 minutes in, is almost a death sentence. And like, I'm not surprised this game takes you 30 minutes because you're kind of distracted by all the camps around you instead of like the actual objectives of like actually ending the game. Like if you're just playing for CS and playing for farm, then like it's whatever. Like you have 160 CS at 20 minutes, which I think that is kind of low. I would say that is kind of low, but stats don't matter if you win the game. Like I'd rather show off like a 15 minute win instead of like my high KDA or my high last hits or my high GPM or whatever. Alright, cool. Axe revealed his blink. This is where you have to learn how to play into counters. That if they have a lot of counters, you split up the mother with the babies. The babies will be off on their own, and the mother will be, well, the mother will be elsewhere. Like if you want to go if you want to go take a fight, you send the babies in by their own. Like send the babies to one of the supports or something in the back line, and then the mother can like take whoever is in the front line. Because if you just keep them all grouped up like that, all it takes is for them to land one combo, and then you lose everything. Your babies, you die on the hero, and your entire momentum, and suddenly you're chancing to lose the game. Yeah, I'd say that about does it. Like, I'm not surprised. Again, I'm not surprised this takes you 15 more minutes. You definitely were risking threatening racks at 19 minutes, but you just kind of just went and hit creeps instead. So that's that for Brood. Actually, I'll touch on items real soon, but I want to teach you a few more tricks. Like I already mentioned the what was it? The Spiderlings trick, the babies trick, to make them all into one unit. I hope this command works. Cool. I really do not care. We'll just grab everything, and I'll worry about the items later. One thing to know about spin web, like this is one of the tricks, that if you suddenly have a bad web, like, oh, this web is bad, just select the middle of it, and you selected the specific web, and this gives the option to destroy the web. And if you are able to destroy that, you're able to place another web somewhere else. Because like if you were to somehow, I think, what is that? 1, 2, wait, how many can I have? 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think this would, yeah, and then 9. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is 9. Yeah. If you were to place another web after you've reached your max charges, your oldest web will disappear. So something like here, your oldest web will disappear. You can like prevent this from happening, especially if like, you're still playing your old web, by selecting a web that you aren't using, and then just destroying that, and then just like using the ability to destroy that web. That way, you still have you still have control over like where your 9 webs are, to be focused on where you want to play. And now you've been seeing me doing this trick where I'm like spawning the webs off the screen, and that's because of how web works. That let me reset. Actually, just destroy all these webs. I can show again. I'm doing this trick specifically by just looking at the minimap, trying to find where my web spawns are, and just like box selecting like vaguely where the middle is. I think there's one. like obviously your first web has to be within like your cast range like that. If I were to place it outside the cast range, my hero Brood will walk up to it. But if you want to throw another web, yeah, you can do the same thing where like you walk up to the web again. But if you are touching your web, you can throw your web further away on the opposite side. As long as you're touching your web, you can keep casting webs further out and out. Like my hero, she's moved a little. Like I'm gonna move her back, like at this watcher. I think this is the middle. No, she's right here at the top of the stairs. But like so far, I placed one web that I had to walk up to. Second web, I didn't have to walk at all. Third web's further out. Make sure this is touching. Make sure this is touching a little. Touching a little. Touching a little. And then touching a little. Like, my hero hasn't moved at all, and I've placed webs in a straight line down across the entire map. And that's because of how web works. Like, as long as you cast a web, if you're already touching a web, if you're already in a web, you can cast it anywhere as long as it's touching like anywhere else inside this existing web. And then that allows you to like, have big control of like the space you're in. It's not like that, yeah. Oh, I stand corrected. No, it doesn't matter where you are, as long as like you can cast the webs as long as like it's touching another web. Like it might just be a bug and because of the demo lobby, but like that's generally how you should be using your webs to like expand where you're playing. Another quick thing with the webs or with the Broodmother is that because that Brood plays the way she does, she is super strong on top of her webs, but like relatively weak off of them. So I'm just gonna vaguely throw them somewhere, something like this. Yeah, these will allow me to have control over bottom side. That if I need to suddenly like leave this area, like say like I want to, instead of controlling the bottom jungle, I want to control top jungle. You could TP up here and then like one by one throw your webs down, but it'll be much easier if you like destroy all your webs and then just like continue like throw them out like so. Like you have like your webs are charge based. Like as long as you can just throw them out, as long as you just keep throwing them out, you can just take over an entire area like this, and suddenly you can just run straight through. And because you can throw them like in front of you, like 2 or 3 screens in front of you, you can like surround an enemy and just like run them down because you have the bonus movement speed. What other trick? Oh yeah, that's right. That's what I want to show, like the Spiderling's trick again. I'll try to find that again. There's a setting I want to use. I want to show, but again, this is like the Spiderling trick. You just right click to move, hold shift, and then right click again. Now they're all together. This is like 40 babies or so. Like if I just do something like this, well, not in this. That's like 40 babies or something. Like if I were, like, you can see like, oh god, that's a lot. But if you were to like stack them up together, it's hard for the enemy to know how many there are. And then you can surprise them by just like attacking them all together. And then just keep doing that. Like whatever babies that spawn out, just keep adding them to the stack, and then they can actually just like keep going on heroes and just killing them, just popping them one hits. Actually, I'm gonna find that setting now. Is it control groups? I am hoping I can find the setting by just scrolling through. Tab. Is it units? I think it's this. That if you have tab on, yeah, if you have tab on next unit here, actually I'm not sure anymore. But this might be your one. This might be your one and only homework. That. Hold on, I need spawn. So yeah, this might be your one and only homework and trying to figure out how it's done. I did it like 3 or 4 years ago, but if you have your brood selected and you click tab, it'll cycle through all of her babies here. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna right click on the map. Right click on the map and just spam tab. And if you just pay attention to the mini map, you see how her babies just spread out across the world. And this just gives her so much control and so much vision that it's actually worth like her babies dying like that. Like I can show this one once again, just like while they're still like relatively healthy. Like group them up together, and suddenly like you have no vision on the map, you'd have no idea where they are. You just want to know where they are. Just right click on the map, hit tab, and you'll see that they're running across everywhere on the map. And this is just free vision. Like you're giving up like 9 gold per spiderling if they were able to kill them, but like losing this amount of gold is worth it for the information it provides. And they can travel really far away if you can send them out that far. So that's just like the tips and tricks for Brood. Those are like some of the quick and easy ones. There's probably more for like actual Brood spammers that they know of, but like I don't know about them, but I find myself an Oracle aficionado. I will have some like tips and tricks I will keep secret for my own self. But onto item builds. Like obviously you had the right item with like going the treads. Wand is always a safe bet because like if you're going to be fighting a lot, people are going to be casting spells. You might as well have like that heal for the health and mana. Orchid allows you to just pop whoever you find, especially if you get it fast enough, and you will because you have accelerated farming speed with spiderlings and insatiable hunger. A lot of people just go for the Manta style because this gives them a dispel and allows them to stay very, very aggressive. Like if you get stunned, if you get silenced or slowed, just hit one button and it's off of you. That's usually where I'm pretty much going down like this item build, this guide. That's also usually when once you finish like these 2 items, that's usually when people are having like big items that they're going to be scary. Like you're against like a Tide Hunter or Sven or Lion or whatever, and they're gonna have ways to get on top of you, either just walking at you or having a blink to get on top of you and hitting you, or some kind of slows. That's where getting the BKB comes in very, very handy. If they were to come in, slow you, stun you, silence you, whatever, or if you're able to like predict, or even like see them coming in, like getting ready to stun, just hit your BKB, and suddenly you don't have to worry about any of those. During the BKB duration, you kill their teammates, you kill them, and you've won that team fight. And then off of that team fight, you take down towers, you can knock on their high ground, and then play from there. You did go the SNY, which is not bad. I'm not a fan of SNY. You can go if they have like a lot of stuns and there's no way for you to dodge them or anything. You might as well just like get that status resistance to lower it, lower the stun duration. Let's just destroy that item, check it out on my inventory. But after that, let's see. Abyssal is very strong if you want to like stay on top of them. Like they have some kind of escape, you need a way to just lock them down, and Orchid isn't enough. just stun them. If Orchid is not enough, or like their teammates is saving them, you can just stun them and kill them during that duration. You always have the option of upgrading the Orchid into a Bloodthorn. This, let me double check. Yeah, this will provide extra bonus. This will provide bonus damage every time you hit the target, especially with your babies. Because it says there in the second paragraph that all attacks on the silenced target will deal additional damage equal to 50 if the attacker is a hero, which the Broodmother is, and 25 if the attacker is a creep, which your babies are. So if you have, we'll say 4, and even then 4 is a low number. If you had 4 babies alive and they're hitting the silenced target, they're taking 100 damage every time the 4 babies hit. But because Brood typically has like, what, 12 babies, something like that, alive almost at all times, they're taking 12 times 25, which is like, what, 300 bonus damage every time all her babies attack. Let's see. There's that disperser I was talking about for Dispel. You can either go for like the Manta style or the disperser. I would say the Manta's the safer choice. You don't really need disperser can help you chase people down, and it's also very easy because you can just build up into diffusal, leave it on diffusal. If you need the disperser, then you can just build it. You can finish it whenever you need to. That's roughly it. Yeah, you're like, just go down the items. Right now, looks like, who is this guy? 122. They both updated theirs at 122. January 22nd. This guy looks fine. This one by DotaCoach.gg. No idea who this guy is, but all his items look the same to like Tortellini's as well as Immortal Faith. So you're good. You're fine just like following these. I know at least for Tortellini, he will add notes under each item to say like what they do. So if you're not too sure, just hover over the item, read it, and then they'll give you like instructions as well as tips on like how to use them and like what to do with them. I don't know about the other guys. I think Immortal Faith does the same. Yeah, Immortal Faith does the same. I don't know about this Dota coach guy. He does the same. But yeah, that's relatively it. I know you're Herald, but that just means that if you choose any one of the ways to actually improve your game, you're gonna climb so much faster. You're gonna like win so many more games. Just play aggressive, look to take farm away from the enemy side, and actually like play to end the game. If you want to end fast, you have to end fast. That means you taking the tier 3 tower, you taking barracks, you taking tier 4. I don't care if like you're not full slotted like this. If you're able to end the game with just like this, there's like 4 items, why not just end the game with 4 items? Like, no matter how fast you win or how long it takes you to end the game, you will still win and lose the same MMR. Just play for item timings, look to fight with the item timings, play on the correct side of the map. If you're strong, if you're dominating, play on the enemy side. If you're weak, if you're scared, you can play on your side of the map. You as a Broodmother, you have easy control over doing that because you can use your webs to control like. You have webs to control like where you can actually go on the map, either on your side or the enemy side. If you decide to go on their side, you're taking farm away from them while also leaving the farm for your carry, and that just amplifies how much farm you guys are getting, while reducing the amount of farm the enemy is getting. Like, instead of this being like, I don't know, 11k at 20 minutes, it could have been 15, it could have been 20 even. or like the game could even end before it even hits this point. Like you had such a big advantage if you're able to play like perfectly and for full efficiency. And the best part about being Herald is that any improvement you make, anything you want to focus on, is an automatic improvement to everything around. It makes it easier for you. So I know that you're feeling down about being Herald. I do see your name is like Hardtuck Herald or something, but everyone starts from somewhere. Everyone starts from somewhere. I used to play down here. I used to be worse than you. I did not buy these items. I used to buy bottle in every single hero because I thought that was like a broken item. But you're off to a good start. You chose Brood, one of the harder heroes, and you understand how her kit works. You're playing her. You're doing well. Now to like touch up on some fine points.